Hello, nerds! Thank you for joining me here on Nerd News Clips. This is the second channel. This is the place for all of the short-form content as well as the individual sections and just generally speaking smaller things. If you are into the longer form content, youtube.com/generallynerdy is the place to go see that. With that out of the way, let's get into this. Now we're talking about TV streaming, and as per usual, this is probably the biggest section of the episode. TV streaming. We have two follow-ups. First up is the Winchesters series. We have some casting announcements that we're going to be going over. So let's just go over the entire cast as we have it so far. So Matt Cohen and Amy Gumenick, I think, will be playing John and Mary Winchester, respectively. And Mary Winchester starts the series off as her maiden name, Mary Campbell. So that's pretty cool. Jensen Ackles will be returning as Dean Winchester, primarily as just the narrator, though I would imagine eventually we will be seeing his face because Hollywood. And then we have two new casting announcements. We have Nida Khurshid, who is from Chicago, the funny cop show, has been cast as Latika Desai. She is a new hunter in training in the series. And then Jojo Fleites, who is a newcomer to the acting world, has been cast as Carlos Cervantez. And he will be a seasoned member of the team. So and that's a quote, a paraphrased quote, but a quote nonetheless, from the official announcement from the CW that this is going to be a team of hunters. So we're going to see something of a little bit of a change in the dynamic for the storytelling in this Winchesters series, which kind of has me intrigued, not gonna lie. Our next follow-up has to do with Star Trek Strange New Worlds. It is also a casting announcement. This casting announcement is Paul Wesley is going to be playing James Tiberius Kirk. Paul Wesley, you may or may not know, is from the Vampire Diaries. So weird. But he's a young James Kirk. And this is the young James Kirk that is going to become William Shatner. So interesting casting decision, but we'll see how it pans out when this show launches. So next, let's get into trailers. We do have a boatload of trailers that have released this week. First off, we have the Umbrella Academy Season 3 teaser trailer. It is sub 1 minute. Season 3 will be launching June 22nd of this year, and this is the introduction of the Sparrow Academy. So yeah, things are going to get really crazy in Season 3, and I dig it. The Boys has dropped its first trailer. I am going to warn you, this is very not safe for work. There is a lot of blood and language, so watch at your own risk. The new season for The Boys is June 3rd. This trailer is bonkers, as is to be expected from the people who bring us The Boys. Next, we have that new Obi-Wan trailer. That series is coming out May 25th. As we talked about in the live show, they kicked this thing off literally as I was editing and uploading the last proper episode, the last pre-recorded episode. So unfortunately, we couldn't talk about it then. We're talking about it now because there's some questionable in here, like the Inquisitor, the Grand Inquisitor, looks wrong, to put that nicely, but still has us pretty intrigued enough that it is fueling a lot of the rumors in the rumors section, so stick around for that. We also have a new trailer for the Pentaveret new series over on Netflix from the mind. I almost keep wanting to say minds because Mike Myers is the guy who created the show, created the movie from which this reference comes from, and is playing, I think the final count is 8 different characters in this series. 5 of those 8 are going to be the 5 points of the Pentaveret. I think that's freaking awesome. If you appreciate Mike Myers' sense of humor, and honestly, who doesn't? It's mostly clean comedy with a bit of an edge that definitely, I can't get enough of. Oh, you should watch this trailer and definitely should watch this series. And then we're going to kick next. Our next trailer is the new Halo trailer. This is the second trailer for the series. It comes out March 24th, so the end of this month. And we have started to get some early reviews from people who are inclined to do such things. And it sounds like it's going to be a little bit of what the fans are afraid of and also a little bit of what the fans are wanting. So hopefully their inclinations are wrong and it's a lot of bit of what we're wanting and a little bit of what we're afraid of, but only time will tell. Next we have the trailer for Metal Lords. This series coming on Netflix April 8th. This is the series that Tom Morello is the music consultant, producer, something for, and it looks like it looks unintentionally funny, but also kind of intentionally funny. So I don't know. I'm gonna throw this one off to you guys. What do you think, if you are so inclined to be a metal music listener? What do you think this series is going to be? And are you going to watch it when it drops on April 8th? Then we have our final trailer for this episode, and that is the new Miss Marvel trailer. Miss Marvel launching June 8th. This looks... It looks like it's going to be great for their target audience. I think that's the only people that are going to watch this, though. This is not going to be one that brings in a new audience to the Marvel Disney Plus series side of things, because it's just a little too teenage girly. But that's how the comic book was, so that makes sense. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like their target audience is really the people who are going to watch it by and large. And then they're just going to get ripped apart by the fandom, by the overall Marvel fandom, because they're trying to entice new viewers who aren't going to watch a superhero story anyway. I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of sticky bits to this, and it looks like it's going to be good for what it is. Just what it is not going to be something that a lot of people are really into, I feel like. So if I'm wrong, definitely let me know in the comment section. But we are continuing into news for TV streaming. So our first piece of news is the announcement of a Harley Quinn, the animated Harley Quinn series on HBO Max. It's getting a spin-off called Noonans. This is going to revolve around Kite Man, who now owns the titular bar in this animated Gotham world, and it's going to be treated like the bar kind of was implied to be, in that it's going to be a Cheers almost for supervillains in the city of Gotham. So we're very likely going to be seeing the likes of Lex Luthor and Bane added to this universe, to this animated series, and just I think this could be honestly great. As much as I really liked that Harley Quinn series, and that it takes a lot for me to really get into something that is based around Harley Quinn. As much as I really liked that Harley Quinn series, I think this is going to be a perfect complement to it. I don't think it will be able to exist on its own. So if Harley Quinn tanks, then this is going to tank as well. But I think this could be a whole lot of fun. So that's what we got there. Our next piece for TV streaming is a bit of a suck note. It's a downer. If you were a watcher of the WWE back before it was the WWE, when it was still WWF, and WCW were separate, then you'll remember the NWO, the New World Order, the Wolfpack, and so on and so forth. Man, when I was like 13, that was my jam. And Scott Hall, aka Razor Ramon, was a big part of that whole storyline within the WWE at the time, and so kind of has a little bit of a weird place in my heart, and probably a pretty nice place in the hearts of a lot of people who continued to watch the wrestling. But he, unfortunately, over the last little while, has been struggling with some health issues and went into a coma and was put on life support a number of weeks ago. And it was made known by Kevin Nash, his friend, also a wrestler, and Scott Hall's family, that they were going to be taking him off of life support sometime soon. Well, it happened that 2 nights ago, they did such a thing. They did take Scott off of life support, and he did pass away. He has been really instrumental in the popularity of the WWE for a long time, and it's with a heavy heart that we got to take this moment to remember Scott Hall,
who is oozing machismo.
So, coming out of that, we have TV streaming suggestions. So I have one suggestion, and it's really because, and we've done this suggestion a number of times, it's really because it was so affecting. The season 4 has come to an end, and the final 2 episodes were hilarious, incredibly funny, and also super affecting. Like, I've never almost been brought to tears, or been brought to tears, not even gonna front on that one, been brought to tears by a comedy show. And this show did that to me twice in the final 2 episodes. So yeah, very, very much. If you have not watched Miss Maisel, you really, really need to. Amazon Prime is where you can watch it. It is so incredibly well crafted and expertly done. Even though it's from the same lady who brought us the Gilmore Girls, like, it is not that kind of show. This is just, cinematography nerds will get immense pleasure out of this show because the cinematography is so gorgeous. The writing in this is expertly crafted. This is that Aaron Sorkin kind of level of idealized dialogue between characters, and to such a degree that I think even Aaron Sorkin would be like, that was well written. Just an amazing show all over, and definitely deserves your time. Again, Marvelous Miss Maisel on Amazon Prime. That is our suggestion for TV streaming this episode. Once again, this has been just a brief segment from the larger episode that has been posted over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Go over there for the long form content, or just subscribe here if you want it in bite-sized chunks. Thank you very much for joining me, nerds. We'll see you in the next one. Before we go though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.